Hello and welcome to the Stampscapes Show and Tell. This is a box of materials that I haven't looked through. Now I've gone over some of these types of things in the past, but I haven't seen this collection of it in a while, or I don't know, yeah, for a long time. All right, so let's just go through this. This is a tri-folded, I forgot what you call these types of promotional materials. It wasn't a flyer, something cards. I don't know. I can't remember. This one's featuring a very large piece of mine. It was one of the few 8.5 by 11s that I did. This is almost actual size. It might be configured a little bit for this format here, but yeah, one of the few pieces I did, and a pretty significant one for me in terms of just seeing what I could do in a large format like this. So I guess I made it into this. A rack card. I think that's what this is called, a rack card. You put these on, something in a store or something like this, and people can kind of take one out. A lot of things, or times, these are like a takeout menu type of format. But anyways, I don't know, a couple half-page pieces right here on it, and this stamp board piece in the middle. A couple of those right there. This one right here was just one of my, what I call fusion types of scenes. This one was, this one was another 8.5 by 11 right here. And I did this one for I don't know, I think it was some sort of Rubber Stamp Madness theme. And it might have been, I don't know if it was Egypt or something like that. But another really fun piece and really cool in the larger format. I haven't seen this original around, but I must have it somewhere. I don't know, I have to take a look. Oh, here's the that larger piece that was in this flyer right here. So this one's still not actual size. This one was about, I don't know, it must have been about 12 inches long or something like that. So you can see it right here. I have this one around somewhere. The dye-based inks have faded out as far as the brownish tinge. I think I might have actually used a stain on it or something like that. But again, it's on the stamp board type of surface. They call it clapboard smooth, actually. I think this one was on a raised cradle panel, which makes for a really cool kind of display. The colors have kind of faded out a little bit, but the black and white looks fine, so I can just kind of restain it. But I need to look for this one. I really like that one. Another piece on the, I think it was, yeah, stamp board block, 6x6 blocks, so like that. And I stamped the Symmetry set, 2 butterfly sizes on it. All these little stars, you scratch back into it because stamp board is kind of like clapboard. Another piece right here. I don't know. I guess I did do. I don't know. I probably put all of my 8.5 by 11 pieces into a postcard format or something like that, using the Greco-Roman columns and the lady with chalice there that comes out of the Greco-Roman kind of figures set. But I always liked using this kind of general color scheme right here. I think it's a bunch of the distress types of inks right here, like an antique linen and walnut stain, but basically just doing a black and white monochromatic. And it's like you're going back in and staining with these kind of warm, I don't know, kind of sepia-ish toned colors, which is a kind of a fun way to work. I should do this one in or a general composition like this in a reflection card, but put her down in the water area. Need to have these columns reflecting in the water. All right, so here is a original piece here using the 2 different watermills, dueling watermills or something like that. I don't know, I must have sent this to my mom. This is a box that my mom had on in a collection of. I used to send her the all the promotional materials and things like that. So this one was not quite a half-page scene. It's a little bit shorter than a half-page, but one of the first kind of autumn-ish types of scenarios I did with a lot of different colors. So I think I colored these with, I don't know what it was. It might have been um, like your Tombow types of things. I don't think the alcohol inks were out at the time. They might have been out at the time, but they weren't being used too often. So yeah, 2007. I think these were all just colored with a stylus tool to get all these just different tones in here, and you can see these kind of more faded tones in the background. But a really fun piece and one that I learned a lot with. All right, so if any of you have been stamping for a while, you might know what the tonal applicators were. It was really hard to kind of show what the tonal applicators were about. This one's using the flame tonal applicator right here. This one's using the tonal applicator raise. And just getting the general coloring in the background was just the straight tonal applicator. But I'd send out something like this. But, you know, YouTube wasn't around at the time, so I couldn't just have, you know, a video showing how to utilize these things in motion for anyone to be able to access. So, you know, back in the days of hard copy types of things, this is what I came up with. So hopefully I got around enough to where, I don't know, I demonstrated something in a show, you know, to someone, and then they go back to their local store and demonstrate it. Or there might have been a show that the store owners were at, or whoever used to teach classes in stores, and they would come out and see, you know, how certain things were used, and take that knowledge back to the stores with them and show it in a demonstration, or, you know, in a club that they might have had. All right, so another large piece featuring the Seaside Cove right here. The Seaside Cove, the larger one. Another pretty big piece for back then. Like I said, it looks like I did a lot of large pieces, but I probably just made samples out of like all of them back in the day. Was in this bio group, still am, and we used to send out hard copies of pieces. So in the bio group, it's a scenic stamping exchange group, and I used to incorporate just stamps from other companies into these pieces because they weren't necessarily Stampscapes, you know, advertising pieces. So I like to put my private collection types of imagery in there, but I always like this one right here. I called it La Vida Azul, you know, the blue life here, and utilizing a lot of the white pigment ink for this kind of atmospheric type of misty scenario. Right here, Stampscapes 103, the clay board. So they were calling it clay board smooth at the time, not stamp board. And then later on, I told them, hey, I'm sending this out. Okay, so they would put this up in stores, you know, when I was going out there to teach. So I told them later, I told Ampersand Art that when people see clayboard, they're thinking it's some sort of ceramics class or something like that. So I told them, you know, maybe we should, you know, have some packaging that just says something like stamp board, okay? And they came out with something along those lines, or well, they call it stamp board. Now it's called clayboard smooth art tiles. Okay, but anyways, that was a fun class to teach, and it was just in addition to my Stampscapes 101. Just, you know, 101 was about the use of the tonal applicator and how to incorporate stamps just in general, but it was a lot of things on how to lay down tone. And then 102 was how to utilize the colors more strategically in your scenes. And then 103 was, you know, the clay board. So right here, another bio swap, 2003. Gosh, that was 20 years ago. But I love this scene right here. This is the first. I've done numerous versions of this scenario right here, the moon on the forest floor. But this one was used in Rubber Stamp Madness. But I did it for the swap group. But all these larger mushrooms right here, and I was able to use my insect imagery. Got the tree trunks in the back, and this is the larger tree trunk right here. It's about this size, but I just put it on its side, and then I just connected up, you know, two impressions of the tree trunk right here. But this one's where I was using my own alcohol inks. It wasn't Copic back in the day, but there was this company called Studio 2 that made alcohol pens, and I didn't use them too much in scenes, you know, because I would go out and demonstrate the use of glossy paper for the most part and dye-based inks, and people just didn't have alcohol inks at the time because Studio 2 is just about the only one that I can think of domestically that had alcohol-based inks, and I don't know, they were a very small company, so I didn't want to use stuff that wasn't kind of readily available. It was, but you used to have to, the internet wasn't there, so you'd have to know where to get those types of things. Oh, some of my favorite companies incorporated with Stampscapes here: Gumbo Graphics, Leavenworth Jackson, and Onion. It's all gone. I don't know. Leavenworth Jackson still has a website, but I don't know if they're selling or not. But yeah, I used to like incorporating all these different things like this. I think I came out with this one after this Stampington and Company rubber stamp sampler did a feature on my stamping. Soften your scenes with the use of pigment ink. This is about the time, I guess, when I started using white pigment ink and incorporating it in with your dye-based inks and glossy cardstock. But I thought it gave it a really, nice kind of softer feel, so totally forgot about this example here. But I don't know, I started using white pigment ink to come in and add that kind of misty quality to the pieces, and I don't know. I don't know if I've done too many scenes without it since, so it's just such a significant kind of textural addition to scenes. Lighthouse, Light Rocks and Waves with the Seaside Cove in the background, but just a small portion of it like this. It's just, the Seaside Cove can be used in so many different ways, so right here, I just use this small portion right here, and you can see those ripples of it down here with a little bit of the crashing wave. Yeah, right in there. Colored differently because this is a nighttime type of scene. 3 different versions. This is the type of thing that I always recommend to people that have been stamping, doing some scenic stamping for a while. Could be for a beginner too, but you just change, these are for the most part the same composition, but I've changed a couple little things here. Like this could be like a fall type of scene, where there's missing leaves, or this one could be a winter, with a couple different branches stamped in black and white. This one's a more fall, spring, summer, whatever. But 3 different looks of the, 3 really different compositions, but just changing around and tweaking things a little bit and using different color schemes. But you can do that as kind of a fun exercise, but they also could be displayed together in kind of a triptych format, which makes for a pretty cool type of display for your pieces. Let's see, just, I don't know, 3 different compositions right here. These are all laminated. I have 2 laminators because we used to get these. These are all color lasers. We used to have to go over to like the Kinko's store and get these printed out. I'd be there all the time they were open like 24 hours a day, and I'd be out there getting, I don't know, just doing copy after copy of these. And like I said, we'd send these out to the different stores carrying the stamps. They'd usually put a hole through here and then put them on a ring and then hang these right next to the stamps so that people can see, some different examples. Here's the Seaside Cove again. Seaside Cove again right here, just that center section, and then again that smaller section of it right up here, just used for that textural form right in here. Another type of theme right here, same color scheme, slightly different stamps. I think it was from when this release came out, probably. Some other pieces right here, just different examples. Oh, so I have this little character like this, and you can see how this is kind of going up like that. I don't know. I probably just took a look at a bunch of different examples that I did. But very textural, again, in all of these pieces right here. Tropical Island Mountain large here. This is like supposed to be some kind of primordial type of thing, and then I don't know, what a volcano eruption, okay, And then like the Ice Age right here, so I was kind of representing that. You wouldn't see these geese flying through the Ice Age, but anyways, that was kind of the idea. This one right here, look at this right here. This is a prime example. The colors are pretty close to the original, but this is an example of applying some cooler tones within a warm tone scene right here. So I put a little bit of like a very pale blue right in here. But on this one right here, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a general cool color scheme, but I put a little bit of a very pale warmth in here. This was the Peach Bellini, I believe. Adirondack lights, or seashells color they call it. But these days you can use something like like an antique linen would be a really good example of something used in a cool tone scene, just to add a little bit of warmth. So there's warmth right here, warmth right here, and warmth right here, in an otherwise cool or neutral palette. So you can really expand your temperature range by adding in just a slight hint of something. It's not so much to darken something, but just to cool off a tiny little bit. So when we're talking about contrast, we can talk about light and dark in terms of value, warm and cool in terms of temperature. Same thing's kind of going on here. You know, a very cool tone scene, but a little bit of a warmth of trees. You would never see this out in nature like that. But, you know, we're, you know, stampers and kind of visual, I don't know, whatever, creators. And we can do whatever we want in them. So if we just want to expand on kind of contrast, then we can do it in artwork, okay? The Frosted Aspen, here's stamped a couple different times like this. I need to use that one again before the season's out, but a lot of little dots out here. I think I added all of those by hand with a gel pen. Looks like I had the like a blue gel pen and a white one right up here. So I don't think I was doing splatter painting at the time, but that was a lot of little dots back in there. I was like, I did pretty good on that one right there without the splatter painting. The Clad with Lightning Large paired with the Leafless Limbs Large. Leafless Limbs and Leafless Limbs Large, but I always thought those were two really great kind of a yin and yang type of thing going on, you know, with between the negative and positive type of imagery in there, because this tree right here almost looks like, you know, lightning turned upside down. You can probably stamp this in white ink and it would look like lightning. But really jewel tone scenes using the dye-based inks on glossy cardstock. Stampscapes sold here. Something that they can put in like a display window or something like that, or just anywhere in the store, or they can put it above where they used to display the stamps. And remember, back then it was all kind of wood-mounted stamps, so that was what this one was for. Different color schemes again for I don't know, variations. This one's using the tonal applicator flame around this. It's real textural on it. And this one's using the tonal applicator rays, just kind of pointing it in towards my light source. And this one's just kind of more mellow without any of those kind of textural forms. Oh, these are the sequential pieces. So you couldn't, you know, there was no, like I said, YouTube or something like that, you know, back in the 90s, early 2000s. I don't know when YouTube was around, but anyway, so I'd have to show something about how to sequence something. So I stamped this type of thing out 3 times and then toned it in, showing just the basic background with the tonal applicator, water texture, and then that fish, and then we add in, here's those leafless limbs again. Look at this one, I stamped this in black, then I stamped it upside down in blue, showing like a shadow right here. But these, like I said, the sequential pieces like this. Step 1, step 2, step 3 type of thing. Oh my god, I don't remember seeing this one at all. So this one's a 3-step thing using the stamp board. You know, just showing the progression through that. Huh. Stampscapes Intro to the Tropics. I think this was right. This one right here was used in a Rubber Stamp Madness ad. But I used to like doing all this kind of formatting right here with the different fonts and texts and things like that. It kind of satiated my kind of graphic designer kind of hunger in me. Doing these types of layouts like this. 3 different compositions, really similar, and again, 3 different types of color schemes, and just general small tweaks on the composition with maybe different backgrounds or something like that. Here's kind of a neutral color, but that warmth of the slight tan color in here, adding, kind of expanding on the temperature scheme. This one right here is kind of a cool color scheme, but that slight yellowish tinge, and then I've had it reflected down here in the water. Introducing the tropics right here. Another 3-step progression right here, using some of the first releases. The Aurora Borealis rays right in here. Step 1, step 2, step 3. A couple different sky images. I loved doing this one, and then I loved the intensity that I got with this one. I don't know, I used several different layers of tones in this one, but I love these 2 pieces right here. This is using the dark cloud around on the perimeter like that in different tones. But I really love these 2 originals. Yeah, there's a couple of these right here. No, these ones are slightly different right here. Maybe it was this one that I liked. I think I did this one first. Okay, so a little bit of warmth in the clouds right there, in an otherwise cool color scheme, right? Blues and violets. And see this one right here? All warm tones, but that slight bluish tinge right here, okay? Barely shown, it kind of turns it a little bit greenish, but just that slight temperature change like that. So can you see that right there? I don't know if it changes the spirit of it, but it just really expands on the temperature range, having those slight variations in there. Oh, using a color scheme that I usually didn't use. People would always say, hey, you stamped this one upside down here. You put that upside down. Well, it's not upside down. This is like looking out of a cave or something like that. But I did it because, see, this is like bottom heavy right here. And then this one, I wanted to cap it off top because this is, I did it as a triptych, you know, where all these different things are being seen as one. So this one's kind of leading into it. We got this. This is kind of pointed upwards, and then we have our hang glider like this. But I don't know. It was almost good that I put this up here because everyone would always want to point, hey, Kevin, you know, when I would spot them, and they'd say, hey, you know, you sent out this kind of example, and I knew what they were going to say after a while, but they always were kind of puzzled at this one right here. Tropics right here, nighttime type of sky, nebula with star, star cluster, and cloud with moon. I don't know, we already look at this one, I'm not sure. So this one right here was featuring these little bike riders like this. So this is kind of doing a, you know, a triptych again. You know, it's talking about some kind of thematic thing that you have running through here. So I have these guys running in from here, going this way, and then over here. So I usually put this character kind of on the left-hand side over here as they're going into the scene. Right here, there's center, because this is a very center-oriented, you know, center triptych piece. And then right here, they're kind of coming down this road like that. So they're always kind of moving from left to right like that. Tonal applicator ray up here. So anyways, a bunch of different pieces right here. I'm going to put these in an eBay auction coming up. If anyone's kind of interested in some hard copy examples of pieces, along with this one original. But pretty heavy right here, so I gotta figure out how I would ship this one out. Probably in this box right here if anyone's interested in some examples in Stampscapes history. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.